Thank you for joining us today, Łukasz. I'd like you to tell us more about you and your role at AppJobs.
First of all, thank you for having me. I am a VP of Technology at AppJobs, reporting directly to the CEO of the company. So my main focus is basically on infrastructure and technical operations, but also tech strategy and vision and R&D.
What was the impact of adding Waydev to AppJobs?
It's been, I think, around a year since we added Waydev to AppJobs, and the impact is definitely positive. So we were able to, improve some of the areas of the way that we work, and the reception was, positive. And currently, people basically take it for granted that there is Waydev, and then we are using this tool.
How was it before Waydev and how is it now in terms of software development and how you do software development?
This is a great question and hard to answer at the same time. If I could answer an opposite question perhaps. So if I would answer how would it be without Waydev currently, I would say that you can compare it to a person that is losing sight. So thanks to Waydev, we have a lot of insight into the whole development process. We can have a more data-driven approach currently, thanks to Waydev. So, another comparison could be, driving a car, right? So you notice that something is wrong, that something is odd, and the brakes aren't working, as they should. So in that scenario, the brakes don't break immediately, right? I mean, it's a process. They deteriorate, slowly, but these changes are difficult to notice, right? I mean, they go on with time, and the same is sort of with the development process, right? So thanks to Waydev, we could see the aspects of our software process that we couldn't see before.
How did Waydev help you solve your problems?
When we found Waydev, there was no particular problem which we wanted to solve at that time. So what we wanted was a meaningful view of engineering process. So thanks to Waydev, we were able to find a couple of obstacles that the team sort of felt but wasn't really aware of. So one of those things was the way that we were treating or were running the code review process, and addressing that issue. Thanks to Waydev, basically that showed us certain metrics, and we were able to understand what was the root cause of the problems with our code review. We were able to improve our resolution time drastically. Another thing was the ability to look into the onboarding process. So thanks to Waydev, we had a much smoother onboarding process, and we sort of gained the ability to act quickly and remove obstacles during that process. And that was a very important aspect to us in AppJobs. We are a remote-first organization, and we were remote-first organization even before the COVID situation, right? So right now, companies are sort of forced to do that, and in our case, that was a choice. It was a path that we chosen to go, and the whole aspect of engineering effectiveness was very important to us. That was something that we wanted to include in our culture, and Waydev had all the aspects all the features sort of that were mostly aligned with that vision.
How do your managers use Waydev?
I would say that Waydev works nicely with OKR system. So it gives teams ability, to track the progress, course correct, do certain things differently in order to achieve the objectives and set the key results in a different way, or adjust them a little bit according to that. But it may come as a surprise that actually developers are using it more often than the managers, right? So it was quite counterintuitive at first, but with time we noticed that Waydev added sort of an element of competitiveness among the development community. So developers are actually currently looking into the charts, looking into the ways that they could. I mean, it's almost like a gamification. I mean, not really, right? Because everyone takes it with a grasp of salt, but they actually enjoy it. So it's not that we try to. I mean, it's not always a good thing, right? I mean, you have to. It's not only about lines of code and active days and so on and so forth. Especially since in a startup environment like ours, the context is very important, right? So the context of the task, or the context of the sprint, where on some occasions you have a lot of research to be done before you can even go into coding. So we look at the charts and look at the numbers with this context in mind. And other than that, we are a quite small organization, so less than 100 people and around 30 developers. So that's also something that in terms of managers is important, right? So we don't have that many managers that need to look into all those metrics. We are a little bit different setup at the moment.
Thanks for the answer. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I guess that's all. Thank you for having me again. Thank you for the great job that you are doing at Waydev, and I'm looking forward into new exciting features at your platform.
Thank you as well for choosing us.